This is what I think people don't zoom out enough on Richard. I mean, people have been around the ecosystem a lot, and people who are new. I've seen back and forth. I'm on Twitter. I see people talk about stuff a lot too. I think it's just it's hard to do depending on the different verticals. And I'm trying to make this as concise as possible. But essentially, if you zoom out and think about Richard, I don't think he's just thinking of all these plans. He's just going off of like whatever he feels like every day. I believe he probably has some big whiteboard or some war room. He has all these things. He has all these people that he's been talking about game theory and going through all these different scenarios, and has like option A, B, C, D, E. And he's really put a lot of thought into what to do based on what circumstance, maybe based on what the market does or whatever. Like any founder, we would want any founder to do. We would want, right? We would want any founder to be like, okay, what's the optimal time to launch this app? What's the optimal time to do the upgrades? What's the optimal time to introduce certain features or do certain marketing during based on the market conditions or the field ecosystem, stuff like that. So PulseX not being polished. So aren't you glad PulseChain launched, right? Like, I think you'd be much more upset if we were in July and PulseChain hadn't launched. PulseChain launched May 12th, May 13th, depending on what time zone you're in. And not everything worked like 100%, right? The bridge didn't even come up for a week or so. And when it did, it got clogged, all this stuff. Now, whether you think any of that was intentional, whether you think it was like, oh, just a, okay thing to happen or whatever that is, this is a guy who has successful with Hex. He's been, successful before crypto, genius billionaire founder. That's this like the simple, way I like to put it. So either you believe in Richard or you don't. And I love the way our friend Somi talks about it too. It's like, if you can't handle the OA, if you can't handle the volatility, if you can't handle all the stuff, just click sell and leave, and just don't bother the rest of us. Like, I love the way he puts that, because it's like such this like simple way of just being like, look, you're either in here or you're not. And if you can't, that's fine. There's a lot of other ecosystems, but people are here. They're here for a reason. If they stay here for long enough, they believe that this guy knows what he's doing. So the staircase to heaven is kind of what somebody was talking about in this video too, of, some people believe that Richard is, helping us, preparing us, doing founder things that would introducing new things at certain, optimal times where the market will respond, and that he will be able to get the most people interested in PulseChain and bring most people in and all that. And when he's talking about the copies, I don't think he's talking to Hexkins and Pulsekins as much either as he's talking about everyone else. So wouldn't it be better if all the people who weren't in already, he's talking about this before, he's like, I'm not, even during streams, he's like, I'm not talking to people who are already in, I'm talking to new people. Because if you're already in, you're in. And it's more likely that you're going to stay in than leave, more likely. So wouldn't it be better for him to focus his efforts on onboarding more people? How do you do that? PulseChain forked Ethereum 2.0, and with it brought all the copies of all the coins, Link, ETH, Maker, Uni, blah, all this stuff. So with Wrap Bitcoin, and now with Pepe and all this stuff, he wants, and I think we all should want, there to be more people that aren't already in to come to the ecosystem. Now, should we feel good about there being more opportunities for gambling or whatever else that we think there may be going on in the ecosystem? That's for you to decide. However, if you look at it objectively, again, you zoom out and you think, how do you get the most people in an ecosystem? How do you get the most people somewhere that's cheaper, faster, better network, bigger growth potential, a lot of people say, all that stuff. How do you get them over from any other network? You incentivize them. You can do that with farms. You can do it with LP. You can do it by giving them the world's largest airdrop. And whether you thought it was a meme before or not, whether you thought it was just this cheap tactic, or whether you thought it was just purely marketing, these coins will have no value. If they have value, what does that mean? What does that mean for Hart's Law? What does that mean for Richard? What does that mean for getting people to come over? Because there is a reason. If you're a whale or just have a few coins, or if you're just a person who wants to, provide liquidity And again, remove the fact that you don't want to play with meme coins. You don't want to play with all these other things. You like RH coins. I love RH coins too. That's my jive. I'm RHMax, right? Zoom out. And if you think about the bigger picture of building this ecosystem, wouldn't it be amazing? And one of the coolest, best onboarding options ever to have these copies have value because people believe it. Maybe they'll use them for something, maybe they won't later on. But they're able to come in and see other products that may be way superior. How many people came into crypto? I know I came into crypto just trading shitcoins and stuff. I did. I think a lot of people did. I might even say most people came into crypto because they seen the green and red candles going everywhere. And they thought, hey, this is a fun, interesting place. I want to play around. Now, what they became after that is a different story. They may have just found best, truest, greatest ecosystem and just stayed there, and that's all they wanted. But they had to come in some way. And you had to, and if they weren't coming from nowhere, they had to be incentivized enough to come from another place because this new place was giving them that much more. And that's what I think Richard is doing. I think that's what he wants. I think that's what everyone should want for the long term. Short term, are we going to see him, talk about a bunch of coins that are not RH coins? Probably. Short term, are we going to not have everything just focused on buying Pulse and PulseX and Hex and Incentive Coin and all the stuff that we love as far as his coins and blue chips and things that are healthy for the ecosystem? Probably. Does that mean it's a bad thing? Does it mean it's unhealthy? Casino, being the casino versus playing the casino. If you want a network to grow and you want to bring the most people in ever, you have to appeal to more than one type of person. And as a true-blooded Hexagon, is there a little bit of pain in me that's like, Hex is down. Nobody, there's all these other things that are getting shilled that are not Hex. And, and of course, Pulse and PulseX and stuff too. Sure. But I learned to push that to the side and think, okay, that's one thing. Maybe that's what I want. That's what I like. But what do I prioritize more? Do I prioritize, Richard just talking about Hex all day and just like doing all that stuff and PulseChain? Or do I think this guy's pretty smart? He's smarter than me. He's smarter than most people. So if I don't understand something he's doing, maybe it's because I don't have the full picture. And if I trust him and his mission to get glory, you don't do that by making mistakes after mistake after mistake and not having a plan. You do that by doing the opposite of that. You do that by having a plan, executing, testing theories, doing outrageous stuff from time to time if you need to. But as long as everything maps back to the mission of the ideals and the projects and everything, doing well, maybe we don't have the full picture. And why would we, right? Why would he leak the full picture of what he's going to do? Wow. Even if he had a plan, every week he's going to tweet about a new thing. Maybe he's already got that. He's already got 6 months ahead of time. He's like, all right, every week I'm going to do this different thing. Maybe we're the first, we're going to get the bridge working first. We're going to talk about the price action a little bit. When that dies down, then we're going to start doing that free airdrop copies over the next, 6 weeks or so. We're going to do the farms, incentivize that, bring people in. I think this guy has a plan. And again, even when I don't understand it, I'm like, he probably has a bigger frame than I do into this whole thing because he's the one, he's the founder. So anyway, so what's up, Hexagon? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. He's trying to onboard others. I think even beyond that. So I think at the most basic level, he's trying to onboard others. But again, I think he's trying to prove Hart's law. He's trying to prove liquidity bonding and its effects and its the value, the network effect and the value of the network, people coming in and doing these things that seem impossible for now. So again, everyone thought world's largest airdrop meme, right? Oh yeah, get your copy of your coins. That's just for you to get in and then you'll dump them because nobody cares. What if they have real value, sustainable value, not just pump and dump stuff? Like what if they actually become bonded to their other pairs, but they're much cheaper? And whether you can use them or not, whether different, some meme coins, nothing has to switch over, but Chainlink and stuff, it doesn't matter, any of that stuff. What matters if people are interested in participating and providing value. That's what gives things value. It's not what you think. It's not what I think. I think Richard's thinking about it a little bit higher level than all of us. So it's not, you don't have to be religious. You don't have to be a cultist. You just have to think, at least me, I take a step back when he does something, he tweets about something, or he's doing the meme coin stuff or whatever. I'm like, boy, I'd like to hear some good Hex and PulseChain news. But then I think, wait. I tell myself, wait. It's all part of the plan. So it's good.